Today we take a circular hike up the Claerwen Valley as part of the Elan Valley Dams in Wales. We'll see if we can find the remains of the Nat y Gro Dam used in the development of the bouncing bomb in the Second World War. We'll take a peek at the dam that was never built, Dol y Mynach. En route we'll see more of the estate, but you can find other Elan Valley Dams in another Hike It for Help video. We're going to start off with a small car park that sits at the top of Claerwen Dam. If we take a quick look at the AllTrails app, on the map we can see we're going to drop down to the base of the Claerwen, go over the little bridge there. This is just by the visitor centre and the main car park. We'll then ascend the other side and pick up the trail that takes us up to Claerwen Valley. The first stop is the remains of the Nat y Gro Dam. In the early stages of dam construction in the Elan Valley, a small masonry dam was built across the Nat y Gro stream on the rocky slopes upstream from Claerwen. This was to provide water for the navvies village. After completion of the dams, Nat y Gro Dam remained intact and provided a valuable testbed for experiments in the Second World War. In 1942, secret tests and experiments were carried out by the War Ministry. A mine was suspended at the optimum depth and detonated remotely. These and other secret trials resulted in the bouncing bomb being perfected, and we all now know or have heard of the famous bouncing bomb dam buster raid by the 617 Squadron in the Second World War. Now we'll push up the valley further, head over to our next interesting dam, Dol y Mynach, or at least the base of it. A minute to catch me breath, I think. I say, it was quite hot today, but I've got plenty of water on me, so it's not too bad. But the views today, oh, it's absolutely stunning. And this is why I love to get out and hike. Okay, we're just going to head over here to Dol y Mynach Dam, which is the unfinished dam. The original 1890s scheme for the sequence of dams and reservoirs in the Elan Valley and Claerwen valleys included provisions for 3 dams on the River Claerwen. These were intended to be constructed later when additional water supplies were needed for Birmingham. You can see evidence of the 73-mile pipeline across the West Midlands by the scattered valve houses and inspection chambers. When the bottom dam, Claerwen was built, it was to create a reservoir with the top water level which would be above the foundations of the Dol y Mynach Dam, which was the lowest of the original planned 3 on the River Claerwen. It was therefore necessary to build the base of the Dol y Mynach Dam at the same time as the other dams in the adjacent valley. Now there's a perfectly good reason why it was never built, and we'll get to that when we arrive at our final dam on the river, Claerwen Dam. Hello, don't get up, you're fine. Have a nice day. A little stiff maybe. Oh, a little knackered maybe. There we go. Okay, a bit of advice for you. If you do decide to come out on the trails around this area, don't forget to download any maps or information before getting to the valleys, as the mobile signals here are a little bit hit or miss. It is advisable to carry a map and compass with you, as electronics can go wrong. You may need to revert back to that map and compass to get you back on the trail. Times like this when you really do feel in touch with nature. If you're planning a long hike, it's always advisable to share or print a map with family or friends before you go off, and try to keep to your planned route, especially when out of signal. Well, a pathway heading up towards Claerwen Dam on this on the back side of the river here. It's a bit hard going. Well, there we are in the distance. We've got Claerwen Dam. Claerwen. You know what, I've been giving all these names for the dams as we've been walking around, but I've absolutely no idea whether I'm pronouncing them correctly, so you're going to have to forgive me if I'm not. Okay, so let's look back and see why Dol y Mynach wasn't built. The increasingly urgent calls for a new dam and reservoir on the Claerwen River were to be reactivated soon after the end of the Second World War. Progress in civil engineering techniques and mechanisation meant that much larger dams could be built by this date. Claerwen Dam was to create a reservoir which holds as much water as the combined total of the 3 earlier dams built in the neighbouring Elan Valley, which meant the Dol y Mynach base would be left redundant for the foreseeable future. The Claerwen Dam was ceremonially declared open by the newly crowned Queen Elizabeth II in October 1952, in one of her first official engagements of her reign. The water's obviously very low and got a beautiful shape in the rock. Well, we've got up to Claerwen Dam, and as you can see, it was scorching hot earlier on. It's now taking a bit of a turn and it's now starting to rain. I think we're due some possible storms moving in, so we're not going to hang around too long. It's the first time I've ever been up to the Elan Valley and Claerwen Valley where I haven't actually seen water coming over this dam. I think when all the rest have been quite low, this one's had a trickle or so. It's been a dry start to the year. Right, well, I've taken a management decision as we are supposed to be going up over the top of the estate. It's going to take me up quite high, but there's been a few rumbles of thunder and whatever in the distance, so it looks like there's a storm coming in. So instead of being caught up over the top in that, it's slightly longer, but I'm going to make my way back around the road which follows the reservoir, follows the river, and we'll make our way back that way. Okay, so instead of walking all the way back around the road, which is really quite long, wasn't quite safe, but the storm seems to be holding off. So I've just picked up another route that I found on the AllTrails app, another couple of paths, which are slightly shorter, but take me up around the side of this hill. So I don't fancy walking up there just now, so I'm hoping this one goes around. And I say it cuts the corner off, so keep going, see how we go. And of course, it's now raining. I think it's time to take the glasses off and put them away. The smell of, it hasn't rained for such a long time and that yet. The smell of whatever's released in the earth when it first gets wet. It smells lovely. That bleeping's my AllTrails app, because I diverted from the route that I'd set. It's telling me that I'm off route. So, but once we get over this hill, we should join back onto the original track. So we'll be okay. I think once we get to these this forest and get past that, it's all downhill from now, hopefully. And I think we're then heading down towards the reservoir. So Then from there it's pretty flat, walking around the other side of the reservoir all the way back to the car. I think we've cracked it, or somewhere near. We've arrived at a little station here, just over 15 kilometres at the moment. Looks like they've been doing a lot of felling up here. I believe the estate are taking out an awful lot of the non-indigenous plants, such as conifers, industrial plants, if you like, the industrial trees, and replanting them with indigenous plants, to the indigenous trees to the area. So hats off to them for running that program. Now I think there's the dam. I think it's going to be over that way. Should have gone down that path just back there, gone straight on, because I walked this way and managed to find these paths, which were in fact downhill cycle runs. And yes, I don't know how I managed to do it, but I managed to walk down this one, the red run, and as you can see, it's a bit treacherous. So from here, I think we walk straight on and carry on straight down. Don't go down the bike runs. Wow, guessing we need some rain. That there is the inlet to the pipe system that goes to Birmingham, supplies the water for Birmingham. So this whole lock here, which can be topped up from the upper dams in both valleys, but that is exceptionally low, and it's only June. We're on our last leg now, just heading back to the car. Time was getting on. Good job we actually took the shortcut and came round the hill as opposed to go further up. Just lightly rained. It's like a stormy rain. Smells are wonderful. And we're now back at the car park. We found a bit of history at Nat y Gro. Great hike around the Claerwen Valley. We've covered around about 19 kilometres. So I'd like to thank you for joining me. Hope to see you in the next one. And don't forget to subscribe and like the channel to see where I end up next time. See you out there.